And then we're going to turn it over to Gloria and hear from her about crushing limiting beliefs, which I feel like that can help every single person on this call. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about before she got started, is basically just where I've been at in my business and just in general. I want everybody to know that as an entrepreneur, there are going to be ups and downs, and it is a crazy fucking ride. And it's hard, and it's scary, and like you start to doubt yourself. And I do it all the time, and I might not talk about it as much as I should, and that's something I got to work on and share more. But I want you all to know that every single person on this call has the ability to make this business work for them. Every single person. Because I know that if I can do it, then so can you, and any single one of you can. And I think it comes down to really doing those vital behaviors every single day. When you keep listening to National Wake Up Calls and you listen to top coaches talking about the things that they do, there is no secret, right? There's no secret. It is seriously showing up to Facebook or Instagram or whatever your platform is, and being there for your friends, and letting them know that you care about them as a person, and you wonder about how their day is, and not that you just want to sell them a challenge pack, that you want to be there for them to build a relationship, and you're in this for the long haul. And let people know that this shit, it's gonna have its ups and downs, and some months you're gonna rock it and kick ass, and you're gonna be excited and happy about the trail that you're going down, and then the next month is gonna suck dick, and you're gonna have to like scramble to talk to 100 people to get one friggin' challenge pack. It happens to all of us. You have noticed, if you've listened to the National Wake Up Call, that Ashley Molstad's name is not the top challenge pack seller of the week every single week. You guys, it goes up and down. It doesn't matter who you are. The thing is, you just have to be you, and you have to show up. It is 100% about showing up to your platform and letting people know that you're not going anywhere, because the moment that you do, they stop watching and they go find somebody else who is consistently showing up. So just keep that in mind, and remember that we're a team. And maybe sometimes I come across as this aggressive bitch, and I promise you that my intentions are always so good. I want to help you all. And if you feel like maybe I'm pushing you away, or that all I care about is Beachbody, I want you to know that maybe you're in the wrong place. Because if you think that that's the type of person that I am, you should reconsider who your leader is, because that's not me. I love you all, and I want you to know that every advice that I give you is to help you grow your team so that you can change your life financially and physically the way that I'm trying to do for my family. Okay, so I just had to get that out there, and I want you all to know that you're always welcome to come to me, and I'm here for you guys, and I'm excited to be here. We're a team, and we're always going to make this work. Please, you know, hear me, because can you guys hear me? Oh, I hear me too. Am I frozen, or can you hear me now though? Just give me a nod. Now I can. Okay, cool. Sorry guys, I don't know where you left off, but just know that I love you all, and I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Gloria, and let's talk about limiting beliefs, because we all have them. They all suck, but we can get over them together. So I'm going to unmute you. All right, Gloria, go ahead.
Hi, everybody. Thanks, guys, for showing up tonight. I know Monday at 9, you probably all had a long day. I am like up and down with a cold, so just bear with me. Jen texted me earlier. She's like, we can reschedule your call. And I was like, hell no, like I want to do this shit. So I just wanted to show up for you guys and talk with you guys a little bit. Yay, Caitlin's here. Sorry, I was like, where are my coaches? I see some people that I don't, that I haven't seen on a call that I've done before. So I figure just real quick, I'll tell you Reader's Digest version of my story, and I'll be able to tie a little bit of that into everything. So I started in January 2016. I would say that Jen and I, like when I started, she had been kind of up and down with the business, and like we kind of really started diving into it together. And it's honestly kind of interesting how that happens. Like I know Ashley Molstad, when she got her first working coach, that's really where like she amped it up. I know like I was Jen's first working coach, and like I've had Caitlin and Crystal as my first working coaches, and just since they've joined, they've like pushed me to be more of a leader. So it's really awesome once you get people who want to work the business, because it will really make you step up. And so that's one thing I didn't do, is I didn't recruit a whole lot in terms of trying to find people who wanted to work the business in the beginning. And so I can just tell you that even if you just find one person who wants to work this business, it's going to force you into being an even better leader than you are now, because you have someone else you have to show up for. So always keep in mind that you're looking for coaches to be on your team. Not to mention that's like the number one way to see increased income is by having a team underneath you. That way you're not constantly relying on just your challenge pack sales and the commission for your income. But anyway, I digress. But so basically I started January 2016. I was 6 weeks postpartum from having a C-section with my baby girl. I had watched Jen. We've known each other since high school, but I watched her throughout my pregnancy. And she really worked on forming a relationship with me, and it was genuine. Like, she checked in on me during my pregnancy. We had some problems with our house. We were out of our house for 3 months while I was 30 weeks pregnant. I got back in my house like 4 weeks before my daughter was born. I was emotional all over the place. We were like living in a hotel with 2 dogs and my son and my husband working all the time. And Jen, I just remember like she would reach out to me on a regular basis and just check in on me and see how I was doing. And I told her that, as soon as I was cleared to exercise, I wanted to join her. And I didn't really have anyone else at that time who was doing Beachbody, but just Jen genuinely caring about me and reaching out to me like really made me want to join her anyway. So I started January 2016. Like I said, it was as soon as I was cleared to exercise. I was really up and down in the beginning. I had restarted 21 Day Fix like 3 times. I wanted to coach from the beginning because I knew I was going to be staying home with my kids after having my daughter. And so I was like, well, I've struggled with my weight and everything in my health in general my entire life. So I knew I needed an answer for that. And then I also thought it would be nice to bring in some extra income. I was thinking maybe a couple $100s a month, like just something to help out since my husband was carrying the load. So I started back then, and honestly, just like from the beginning, I definitely was not all in. And what was holding me back the most was really just the limiting beliefs that I would put on myself in terms of whether or not I really thought I could do this. I was raised in a family where my mom's a teacher, my dad's a police officer, which that's awesome, but it was just like my entire family, even extended family, they're always about find like that stable job with good benefits, like work a 9 to 5. Like that was just all I ever thought of doing. That was like, I figured that was success to me, was just, if I got a job and I was able to hold on to it and stuff like that. So I had never even considered starting a business or anything like this. So it was a crazy idea for me. And when I started, I had no idea what to expect. I had no idea the potential. So in the beginning, like I showed up on social media from day one. And like I was just talking to Brittany Nelson the other day, and she was like, I was thinking you were already diamond, because honestly, I've been emerald since March of last year. And when I hit my 1-year emerald anniversary, I was really disappointed in myself. I was like, I kept telling myself I'm going to be diamond by this day. I'm going to be diamond by this day. And I just kept pushing it back and pushing it back. And here I was emerald for a year. And it was hard, but then I had to really look at myself and ask, like, were you doing the work? And I wasn't. I mean, from day one, yes, I showed up on social media, but I relied on people to come to me. I was consistent with my workouts. I've had a really great transformation, if I do say so myself. But, I was not reaching out to people. I was not seeking people out. And so much of that was because I just was so afraid of what people were going to think of me. I was so afraid of people saying no. I was so afraid of people criticizing me. And then I was also scared of, like, what if this actually worked? Like, what if I was successful at this? Because, growing up, like I said, we weren't really, parents say like dream big, but then like, I would tell my parents like, I want to do theater because I did theater a lot in college, and I got a lot of, oh, well, that's not stable. And could you really do that? And would you make income? Like, so it was like they wanted me to dream big, but not too big. You know what I mean? And, I was raised with a brother who's got borderline personality disorder. So he's basically bipolar is like the easiest way to give you an idea of how he is. And so I just grew up like always playing second fiddle because it was like do everything to keep him happy because we didn't want him to have an episode. So I was just raised to really care about what people thought of me, to really watch what I said to people, and like even my likes and dislikes. Like my brother thought, you know, like if you like something mainstream, you know, you're an idiot. So like if I liked anything mainstream, I like couldn't even be open about that in my own household because my brother would like think I'm stupid or just, you know, some person like following the crowd or whatever. So I just, you know, was raised like not really knowing who I was, not really giving myself a chance to figure out who I was, just not really dreaming big. And so when I started, like I shared on social media, and honestly, like for a lot of the time I would tell Jen what she wanted to hear. Like I would tell Jen I was messaging, and I would you know, tell Jen I was inviting people. And yeah, I did it off and on. It wasn't completely a lie or anything like that, but I definitely never showed up at the level that I gave the impression that I did. And just from experience, like you're not doing anyone a favor if you just tell us what we want to hear, as being our coaches, because it does you a disservice because we're not able to really help you push past whatever it is that's holding you back if you're not honest with us about the fact that you're not doing everything you know you should be doing. And it also is a waste of our time too, in a sense, because, you know, we have so many challengers and we have coaches and we have so many people who want this. And so, you know, you just want to always be honest with us, like, because this is your business and you know, you are your own boss. So that means if you want to, you know, do it as a hobby, do it as just for the discount, do it just for the community, whatever it is, that's fine. But if you say like, I want this, I want all in, you better bet we're going to be pushing you and we're going to be working with you. And we're going to be confused when you're telling us you want all in, but then you're not doing the work. So just always be honest and step back and say, is this really what I want to be doing? So some of the limiting beliefs I really had to push through, that I wanted to share with you guys, because I don't want you to be where I am a year from now. I want you guys to figure out what your limiting beliefs are now and work to push past those, because the sooner you do and the sooner you go all in, the farther you're going to go into this business and the faster you're going to go in this business. You know, I can tell you since I've started going all in, since I started going back to work in March or February, like this month, I've already doubled my biggest month income from like my entire time. And we still have 2 more paychecks this month. So it's like, it really is the difference of just doing the work. So yay. So some things that I've always thought is like, I'm not good enough. Like maybe I don't deserve something this good in my life. Like, why me? Like, I'm not special. But if you listen to National Wake Up Calls and you listen to all of the people we talk to, all of them will be the first to tell you that they're nothing special either. And I think once you hear that enough, you really believe it. Like, okay, you know, I'm sitting here like I'm not good enough, but really no one is, you know, good enough. It's just a matter of doing the work. I think it was Julie Voris that was saying on the National Wake Up Call, like, you know, work beats talent. So even if you don't think right now that you have the most talent in any area or that you're an expert in fitness or anything like that, like putting in the work, you're going to beat anyone who naturally has that or who has had that their whole life. I had to get over my my relationship with money, which I still struggle with, because being raised by a single parent teacher, her account was negative almost every month. She'll tell you that herself. We shopped at Bell's Outlet for our clothes. I literally remember like my mom holding up jeans and being like, do you like these $4 worth? Like that was like how we justified what we bought. And I didn't really know the difference. Like I didn't really feel that when I was younger. But when you don't have money, it's really easy for you to look at people who do have money and think that the money is what makes them greedy, or think like, oh, all I need is that $35,000 a year state job, you know, to be happy. And it's not that money brings happiness, but the freedom that can come with money can help you, you know, relieve stress on your marriage, relieve stress on your life, be able to do things for your kids without having to stress out about it. One of the biggest things for me is realizing like you can do so much good with money. Like you can contribute to charities, you can do so much. And so I used to just think like, oh, you know, I don't ever want to think about like being in the $1 million club. That makes me greedy to want that money and to want nice things. And I really had to work past that. And if you're someone who has a bad relationship with money and you don't, really think that, or you think it's bad to want money, I definitely would recommend You Are a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero. I've only heard a few excerpts from it so far, but it's definitely on my list to really dive into. And another thing is, like, I used to say things like, oh, I just don't have the time. There's not enough time in the day. And I can just tell you that it's not that you don't have enough time, it's that this isn't a priority for your time. And that's fine. Like, I'm not trying to be mean, I'm not trying to be a bitch, but what I've learned is, like, if you take the emotion out of it and you really look at your excuses, you'll be able to say, instead of saying I don't have the time, it'll be I'm not willing to make this a priority. I'm not willing to give up my television for this. I'm not willing to, get up at 5 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday like I do. I literally get up at 5. I'm working out at 6. I'm on our power hour at 7. I'm on a call with my success partner at 8. And then I usually finish up by 10. The rest of the day I can spend with my family. But the funny thing is, now that I work full time, I do more work than when I was a stay-at-home mom with my kids. So it's not so much that, that not having the time, that's a limiting belief you're putting on yourself. You have the time. Everyone has the same 24 hours in a day. You have the time to make this work. It's just about making it a priority and putting it at the forefront of your mind and getting over that thought that you don't have enough time. Because if you treat time that way, it's not going to be nice to you and you're never going to find the time. So it's really about putting in that work, because I think to myself, like, back when I started, yes, getting up early, definitely game changing. I think back to when I started, I was a stay-at-home mom. I loved being with my kids all day. And I think to myself, like, if I had put the work in that I put in now back then, I never would have had to go back to work. I wouldn't, like, today I dropped my kids off at school, literally both of them clinging to me, crying because they didn't want to go to school. Thankfully, that's not the norm. But it's mornings like that that just make me want to push even harder, because I want that freedom of being with my kids. But I also have to stop, because there's no point in being hard on myself for the work I didn't do. Like, I can't go back in time and change that. The most I can do is help you guys learn, to push past it faster than I did and to do the work now. That's all I can really do. And I was going somewhere else with that. I'm trying to think. Hold on. Let me look at my notes. Yeah, so I just think back to that and I'm like, and so it's hard not to beat myself up. But then I remember, like, I needed to go back to work for me to realize how bad I wanted this. I needed to have that freedom taken away from me for me to get the drive to get that freedom back. And so everything that happens is just a part of your story. And like Jen said, you're going to have setbacks. Like, I, for example, was so close to being diamond on last Thursday. And I really wanted to be diamond so I could get recognized at Summit as a diamond. And it fell through pretty much at the last minute that I was going to be able to reach that goal. And so the next day I could have woken up and I could have been really sad and, like, depressed and, oh, woe is me about it. But instead I just said, you know what, like, it's all going to happen in its own time. And I think that if you just trust the process and just know that if you don't give up at this and you do the work, you will be successful. If you look at successful coaches and how long that they've been doing this, like Ashley's on like 3.5 years, 4 years now. And so, and she'll tell you, like, she hustled from day one. And so, yeah, she did match her Nike income, I think she says, her first year, but she was hustling every single day from the first day. And it really takes that compound effect of you showing up every day, doing your messages every day, inviting every day, and just really moving past, like, caring what people think. Because if you just think to yourself, like, how much that this has done for you, whether it's the workout programs and the shakes, or if it's the coaching opportunity, like, whether you've made $5 or $100,000 in this business, there's something you've already experienced that has helped you grow and has improved your life, or you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't still be around. So don't feel like just because you haven't made money, you can't talk to people about the coaching opportunity. And I really think that that's a thing to start talking about now. I mean, I have made like some of the best friends of my life through this opportunity. I have been able to take trips. I've been able to supplement my husband's income. I've been able to, like my job I have right now, I don't get paid time off. So if I have to miss school for the kids being sick, guess what makes up for that? Beachbody. At the beginning, I could start buying organic groceries instead of regular groceries for my family. Like, it doesn't have to be some major transformation in terms of money for you to start talking to people about coaching. And you want to start now and be thankful that you have such a strong upline in Jen and in Ashley, that you have plenty of places to plug them into to help them start learning. And then you can obviously step up as soon as you feel ready, which should be hopefully now. But, you know, just don't be afraid to talk to people about coaching. And so basically, I just wanted to say, like, any limiting belief you have is going to be fear-driven. It's because you're expecting the worst out of a situation. If there's anything I've learned, is that fear is an illusion. Like, fear really isn't a thing. Fear is just our minds thinking of the worst case scenario out of a situation. So you could say, you know, oh, I'm afraid to invite that person to coaching. They might think that it's just a scam and they might go crazy on me. Or you could think like, that person would be an amazing coach. I'm going to tell that person how great they would be at coaching. And wouldn't it be awesome if they appreciated the compliment and wanted to know more about it? Like, we don't need to assume the worst about everything. And that's really where those limiting beliefs and those fears come from. And yes, definitely don't play God. There have definitely been people that I didn't invite because I was afraid that they wouldn't do it, or I was afraid like it wasn't their thing, or that I just assumed they had a negative outlook on us, and then I see them join someone else's team. So never play God. You never know who might be looking for this as an answer. That's very true. So I think I didn't mean to be all over the place, but I have some notes, but I wanted to try to just talk to you guys from the heart, because I don't want you guys to wait. Like, I want you guys to start now. I want you to start doing the work now. And the sooner you start, and any hardship you come into, any person that might get upset at you for inviting them, or any coach that you have that starts and then quits, whatever it might be, all of those things will just make you stronger. But what has to be consistent is you and showing up every day, and it has to be you not giving up. And because if you don't, like, there's no possible way that you won't be successful in this business. And you have heard that, and hopefully from so many successful coaches, that the only way to fail is to give up. So you will have setbacks. Like, you will. It's going to happen, and that's just a part of life. But I would much rather have a setback in an environment like this and still keep pushing forward, and know that in my future I'm going to have financial freedom, and I'm going to have the ability to be with my kids all the time, and to take trips when I want to, and to donate to like really important charities to my heart. Like, I would much rather enjoy this hard of this work than have the heart of working a state job the rest of my life, working, you know, living paycheck to paycheck. My husband works 60 hours a week most weeks. And he's exhausted, and he's been working like that basically since my son was born, and my son will be 5 this week. So if you can just imagine, the toll that must take on him. And right now it's basically like I'm the only one who can relieve that on him. And so just knowing that this opportunity is here, I will take rejection. I will take a setback. I will take someone saying no, because there will be 10 more people that will say yes. There will be, like, I have a girl in my accountability group right now. Her dad recently passed away. She joined me soon before. She knew he was terminal with cancer for a while, but she joined me like maybe a month or two before he passed. And when she messaged me, she was like, I'm shaking sending you this message because I'm so afraid of change, and I'm so afraid I'm going to fail. And I had to have the confidence in myself and in Beachbody to tell her, like, if you promise me you won't give up, we will get you there. And she did Country Heat. I showed Jen her transformation pictures, but she did Country Heat. I think she lost like 15 or 18 pounds in a round of Country Heat, which is crazy. Her before and afters were crazy. And when her dad died, you know what was a constant thing that was there for her? Her workouts and my accountability group. I mean, that's why I do this. So who gives like a fuck, like if this person says no, or if this person gets upset with me, because I know my intentions are pure at inviting them. And if getting that person to say no forces me to talk to someone like my friend Lauren, who went through all of this and we're able to be there, and I know she's going to be a rock star coach one day, even though she doesn't believe that she could be a coach right now, like that's enough for me. And so it's just like, just be honest with yourself and be honest, like, is this what you want? What do you want? Like, do you want this as a hobby? Do you want this as a career? Because whatever you want, you need to think to the future and say, where do I want to be in 5 years? And then reverse engineer and do the work to get there. And yes, it takes time. And yes, there's monetary investment. But if you think about any other business that you could start, like, we're paying like nothing. I mean, really the only investment we're making is that $15.95 fee, because if you believe in Shakeology, you would be drinking it anyway. So to me, I'm totally claiming that shit on my taxes. But to me, I'm like, I would be buying that anyway because it makes me feel amazing and it helps me poop every day. You know what I'm saying? So, like, just think about this opportunity and just know that any job you have, it's going to take time to move up, but you just have to persevere and push through the hard times and learn through them and just get over whatever's holding you back. Okay.
That was so good. I had tears in my eyes when you were talking about your mom and how, you can remember that paycheck to paycheck, and I don't want that for my children. Like, and that is the life that I have provided them through bad decisions and through going to hair school and wasting tons of money and having debt that I have to pay off now, and I'm not even fucking doing hair. If I had known about this opportunity, 5 years ago, who knows where I'd be. But now I have a strong vision, I have a strong why, and I can see 5 years into the future. And Ashley, our upline, she instills into us that it has to be the bigger picture. You can't look at tomorrow when, $99 is coming out of your account for your shakes, when you're investing in yourself. You have to look at 5 years from now when your children don't have to hear you say, is there enough money in my bank account to get food at the grocery store sometimes. So just believe in yourself, because everyone can change their life through Beachbody. And I believe that 100% because I'm doing it, and we are doing it as a team. And it takes more than just me doing it, It takes more than just Gloria doing it. It takes us as a team all hitting all of our goals and moving up. Because when I say, like, you guys, we have to hit Success Club, yes, it helps me, but it helps you. And Success Club is the pipeline to your business, and that's helping 3 people a month. And that covers your costs, and you even make a little money. And just think, if you were doubling your messages and helping 5 or 6 people or 7 people a month, see what can happen there, especially if you're always offering the coaching opportunity, because then you're building rank as well, because you're getting people to save money on their shakes. And we're trying really hard now. A focus of ours is to keep people on Shakeology. It's not let's get them on Shakeology. Let's figure out what it is. How can we help people stay on it monthly, because it is life-changing. It can help their health every single month. It can do so many things for their energy, for digestion and everything. So we're kind of throwing around ideas about maybe like making hats that say 3-monther on them, and like shirts that say 6-monther, and offering those to our customers even, and our discount coaches, to help people stay on it, because so many people aren't drinking it every single day and then they're quitting. Or they're getting their second bag and they haven't been drinking it, so it's backed up. Now they're canceling. But it's like, if they had you've got the 12-month golden scoop, but I feel like 12 months is very far off. So I'm wanting to do some sort of like 3-monther, even if I can help someone stay on it for 3 months and really, really drink it, because if they promise themselves they're going to stay on it 3 months, they better be drinking it or they're going to have 3 bags of Shakeology, right? So if they're drinking it every day, they're going to change their life because it's helping with weight loss and energy and digestion and everything. We could do shaker cups. That would be amazing. Shaker cups is actually like a really good idea because I don't think those are very expensive at all. Oh, that is such a good idea. I love it. And then we could even do the hats at 6 months. I don't know why, but I like really want to make hats. I really like hats. But yes, see, we could do something through our team, and like everyone can offer that to their customers, because I promise you, when you start shooting for elites, retention of Shakeology and keeping people on it is life. And your coaches hitting Success Club and you producing diamonds, and all of that goes into play. But it's not just producing a diamond, it's helping them keep diamond and continuing to build their business. And that's the thing, it's your business. I can only do so much. I will remind you when stuff is coming out if I can. If that's what we need to do, let's work out a plan. Like, I'll do anything. And it's funny, like I was listening to Ashley Molstead today talk about how she didn't have an upline and she taught herself everything, and she's so driven because of that. And I feel very similar because my coach did not help me ever. If I messaged her, I still message her, and it takes her 8 days to get back to me. And so I hope you all know that I always respond to your messages within like 20 or 30 minutes usually, and I'm always here to help you guys. But I can't message for you. I can't, build a team for you or hold rank for you or do any of that. It's a decision that you make when you wake up that morning and you say, I am going to help someone today. I'm going to help 3 people this month. I am going to do it. And then you put the hustle in to achieve those goals. Because if you start hitting Success Club every month, watch your business change. It changes. You start building a team. You start doing the things leaders do, like team calls and making sure you listen to the National Wake Up Call so that your coaches do, and running challenge groups and running What is Coaching webinars. These are all things that you have to do if you want to build a team, because nobody is going to do a What is Coaching webinar on your team if you're not doing them. So just keep that in mind. And I know some people are newer and some people are still learning, and that's okay. And if this is, the hobby thing, that's okay too. But you guys have to communicate with me, because if you're telling me one day that this is everything, you're going to do this all in, then I'm going to be here to push you and help you achieve those goals. But then don't get mad at me when I'm pushing you and trying to help you. So we just got to communicate. We're a team and we're women. So no, there's going to be drama at some point, but it's nothing that we can't work past. Gloria and I, after Platinum Presenters in September, had a huge not falling out, but a fight that put tension, and we tippy-toed around each other for months and months, but we worked through it, and we took time to learn each other and realize, we're in this for the long run. Let's do it together instead of, why would you want that? We're a team. So let's all work together. And if you're struggling, reach out and in the team page, we're all here to help you guys. So we just got to stay on the same page. Yes, go ahead, Gloria. And then let's open it up for questions just in case anyone has any.
Cool. Okay, I'll be quick. So one other thing I just wanted to say, this is when you're struggling with something, whether it's in the business or in your personal life, lean into the business, because just think about it. Look at this call. You have this huge group of supportive women who could be there for you and are your friends, and we can help you through anything you're going through. And something that I've learned is my business is the one thing that I can control when everything else seems to be going crazy. I can control if I get out my messages for the day. And you know how good I feel if I feel like I'm losing control of every other aspect of my life, but I at least got my messages and my post and my PD and my shake and my workout, my vitals done for the day. It helps just bring this peace to me, oh, I accomplished this. And in terms of time, I just wanted to say one more thing, and I'm not saying this to brag, but I just want to put things in perspective for you guys. My husband works 50 to 60 hours every week. He works doubles every Tuesday and Thursday. So I call those my single mom days. So I have my 2 kids by myself in the morning and at night on those days. He's on call every other weekend. So he's gone a lot every other weekend. I work full time, like I said, and then I still run my coaching business. And so I used to use time as like a big excuse. Oh yes, and I still make team calls. I'm on 4 team calls every other week when Emily Morak has hers. So I have 3 to 4 team calls every week, plus National Wake Up calls in my ear while I'm working at my desk. Like, you just have to really make the commitment and want this, and you can do it. So what questions? Yes, push. I have a state job, so I like have training in my ear all day. I know not everyone has that luxury, but if you do, just like listen to stuff all day, PD, trainings, whatever, like just be there. So did anybody have any questions for us?
I feel like you just said something I was going to say. You were saying, I don't say this to brag. Where were you going with that?
I was just saying like that I feel like I'm a clear example of someone who could easily say I don't have enough time, and most people would take that as a valid reason. The fact that I'm by myself with my kids so much and I work and I just have so much going on in addition to Beachbody, but I make it a priority.
And that's all it is. And you're going to hear it 1,000 times. It's posting 3 to 5 times on social media. And it's like, we run these groups and you say you want things, but then you don't do the assignments. Like, I still am baffled by moving to the top and the amount of people that post in that. That is a legit coaching accountability group. Like, you want your business to work? Do the things that we're doing, because that's how you're successful. You do the messages, you post coaching opportunity post and join my challenge group post, and over time the compound effect happens. You just have to put the work in, and there's no secret sauce. It's really just as simple as PD, press play, drink your shake, invite, share, National Wake Up Call. It's so simple, right? Let's just make a list of all the 20 things you have to do. But really, it was like Gloria was saying earlier, you have like the life I was living before Beachbody, 50 pounds overweight, working behind the chair, feeling like a slob, trying to make people beautiful when I didn't even feel beautiful. Paycheck to paycheck is an understatement because our bank account stayed negative. Like, that's hard. Raising 2 kids in that life is hard. Worrying about groceries and if you can pay for stuff is hard. And that's why I get that, like, the $115 for your shakes, that's hard in the beginning. It was hard for me. But if you help 3 people a month, that money should strictly go to covering your shakes, because that's the only way you're going to build this business. And if you're helping the 3 people and your shakes are covered, then you don't order your shake, then this business doesn't mean anything to you. Like, that's all there is to it. You have to drink your shake every day and share about it, and that's part of it. And you have to have a testimony for it so that people, see that you drink it for a reason and not just to be a Beachbody coach. But we have less than a minute, and I just love you all. And thank you so much for making this call a priority and getting on. You guys are amazing. Get up, wake up, say, I can do it. I will do it. I'm going to do it. I'm doing it right now. Get your messages done first thing in the morning, just like your workout. Your workouts and your business are so similar. Like, you stick to your workout, stick to your messages. Stick to your posting. It's the same thing. You just got to be consistent to get results. Love you guys so much. Have a wonderful Monday night.